Yeah. Fly was flying on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man Saul Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season here, early time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco. This is Philly the podcast. So as you guys can see, we have a very, very special guest with us, man. A man who needs no introduction, realistically. But we got Jay Ajayi on the channel. How's it going, Jay? How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on the show.
Definitely. No, it's an honor and a pleasure. We really do appreciate your time. So I know you're a busy man, so I'll hop right into this. Before we get into any like real deep questions, just how have you been? How has that post NFL life been treating you so far?
It's been good. I stay in Miami. Vibes out here is good. Traveling. I make music, so that's been good too. Just been focusing on that.
Awesome. Yeah, you're not too far from me. I'm in Tampa right now, so not too far in Miami. But I do want to stay on your music for a little bit. I used to make music back in the day, and as you can tell, I made my intro as well. But I will say, when I was younger, I listened to like a Big Pun CD and just fell in love with music. So I wanted to ask you, knowing that you make music, what was that moment? What moment made you be like, music is something that's going to stick with me. This is something I love.
When I was younger, as a kid, just growing up, my parents were always around music. My mom, she sang in the church, and then my dad, he played the drums, so it was always music. And then just in the house, music was around. I think one of my first records that I remember was like the Lauryn Hill record, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Yes,
so that probably is like a big part of music for me in my life. But yeah, just growing up, MySpace music days, I did all of that as well. So I've been doing music like for a long time, just in the background. Now I'm just really just pushing it forward.
Definitely. You bring up MySpace music. I'm feeling old now. I remember having the whole MySpace music profile and putting music up on there. So that's hilarious. But like you did say, you did come from London, right? Kind of moved out here a little bit younger. But how was that transition? Coming from England, coming to America, hearing the different transitions of music, like you heard, the Lauryn Hills. Like, what was that transition like, and how did you adapt to the States?
Yeah, I mean, I'm Nigerian, so basically being born in London, I got that sound of music, the UK vibes, and then the Nigerian vibes at home. And then going to the States, I just, was able to pick up on hip hop and just artistry and R&B and everything. So I just feel like my style and what I've came up from my love of music is just pretty wide and open. I think, yeah, I have like a pretty diverse, just love for it because I've just got to experience different styles and different places. So I think that's where
Definitely.
my style kind of comes from too.
That's awesome. Yeah, it kind of keeps you out of a box, right? Kind of lets you just try different things as you hear them. So that's awesome. So, I mean, a lot of people obviously are going to know you from football, right? So how does sports play into this? Coming up, growing up, how did you first get into sports? How did that become the path for you?
Yeah, I mean, being in Dallas, Texas, football is pretty big over there. And that's where I grew up in the States, and all my friends were playing football, and so I joined, with them because I wanted to, not be in the house. And I was just naturally good at, running around and running the ball, and I just kind of saw it as like a path in the States where, sports, you can get your school paid for, and it just kind of became a thing where I just continued to stick with it, and, I was able to win the Super Bowl and make it to the league and all that.
Definitely. You got to tell us that twice. We all know that. That's amazing. But how did music and sports play into your life? Because I know old famous rap quote, right, from Drake saying that music and sports are so synonymous. How did the two kind of connect for you,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think one, the parallels of just I think sports, music, fashion, is all part of the culture. I think that they're all kind of intertwined together. With music, for me, and the sports, it was part of like my train. Obviously, like when I wasn't creating it and I was doing sports, music is always around with like just the soundtrack of what I'm listening to pregame or what I'm listening to train or whatever. You know, music was always a part of that. And then I just think like when I look at the parallels between just the two different careers now as well, it's just like stepping stones. And like football, I think like sports in general prepares you for like a lot of different challenges and adversities and just being able to like go through different things and just push through. So I think like being able to use like some of my sports mentality and put it into like how I'm trying to maneuver in the music industry is like what I'm, doing right now, and that's like how I'm moving.
Definitely, and I have listened to a lot of your music, so I hear the punchlines, whether it be about running backs, whether I hear a lot of sports references thrown in there, so that's awesome as well. Also, staying on sports a little bit, you kind of pursued another professional football, if you will, right? You were able to sign on to a professional esports team. Just how was that? How did that come about, and how was that experience for you?
Yeah, that was a pretty cool opportunity that my marketing people had brought to me at the time. They knew that like I play FIFA and I enjoy that. And that was pretty dope. I didn't even really understand like the whole esports world at the time. Obviously I understand now like how insanely like in depth it is.
Yeah.
Um and I think at the end of the day too, like I really didn't prepare as better as I should have, because I really didn't know going into like the tournaments kind of like how real it is until I got
Yeah.
there, and then it was like, oh, this isn't like just for real. So it kind of just it was like eye opening. It was a dope experience because I got to meet some cool people and just represent for Philly and all that. But I think it kind of let me know something too, because it was almost like the same level as if one of those esports people tried to come on the football field and tackle me or something like that, it would be kind of a rough go for them. So it was a little bit of a similar thing for me, a little bit of a rough go on the games, but it definitely like showed me like the level of like the esports world and all that.
Yeah, hey, I give you kudos for even trying because I make
Nah,
jokes all the time about me just playing Madden, at my house in my couch and getting yelled at by 15-year-olds. So I can just imagine the competitive nature and the craziness that
for sure.
ensues out
It
there.
was
So
it
that's
was a
pretty dope.
definitely it was a good business deal though. It was good. It was a good deal for sure. So I think it was a good opportunity. I don't regret it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I do want to hop back. Obviously, this is a Philadelphia Eagles podcast. We do cover the Eagles. So I do want to ask you about that 2017 season. I would be remiss if I didn't. Can you just maybe give me a memory or what do you remember about that season and that team?
I'll say the team, obviously we were very unified. I think obviously we were um, in my opinion, it was a bunch of just like real big personalities on one team, like a bunch of personalities. They brought me in. It was kind of like they were creating like a super team almost, if you look at it. But we were still kind of look like underdogs. But if you look at the team, it was pretty stacked along the lines. Um, and I just think like, yeah, we were just motivated to get that ring, get the trophy. And a memory that probably stick out is we got to meet Kobe that during that
Mm.
run. So it was like really dope. That was like a memory for me. Obviously, I'll never forget when the the first basketball player I knew growing up in the States. And obviously one of my favorite sports figures. So that was really dope. To happen other than the Super Bowl and the parade and everything. I think meeting Kobe and like the LA Cali trip that we did was a vibe because everyone got to kind of connect on like an away 2 weeks. Like it was good.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And a question that was burning in my head that I wanted to ask you. Obviously, one thing that I know I remember from the Super Bowl, and a lot of people probably do, even watching this Super Bowl, I key in a little bit more, is what the players come out to, right? So the players that year, you guys came out to Meek Mills. It was a song that kind of took over the city. The reason why I ask you this is knowing that you make music. If you had the opportunity to give the team a song to run out to, one of your songs, what song would you give them and why?
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give him it's okay. That's gonna turn him up off the rip. That's the one. Like that song is the track is lit. The what we talking about, it's okay. Like we about to go on this field and murk. Like we finna handle business. It's okay. Like let's go get it done. So definitely it's okay will be the track I'll give the and now that's a Super Bowl winning track right there. They gonna handle
Okay.
business with that. So yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to remember that for the next time the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. We're gonna have to slide them that track. Make sure that make sure that they have that.
Right.
But and how was it? Obviously you're back in Miami now. How was that transfer from Miami to Philly? I know it was kind of mid-season, kind of out of nowhere, but just how was that feel coming to Philly? It must have been a whirlwind. I mean, I know you've lived in a lot of different places, but Philly's not like many.
Yeah, I just had to get used to it. It was different. Obviously business is business. Shit, I just had to like put my head down and grind. It was dope that I had a good running back room, good running back coach, and I just kind of like I said, put my head down, tried to find a way to gel with the team because obviously there was a lot of shit that was being said about me in the media and everything. Like, so I know people were kind of like, "Oh snap! Like we have this good thing going. This dude but not coming, and whatever." But obviously, it wasn't like that. So I think it was just it all handled how it was supposed to be, and similar, kind of like I kind of saw like parallels a little bit to like how Odell got his ring this year too a little bit. Just how he had to get out of a sticky situation, or even though his was kind of different than mine, but for the fact like he still was able to go to another team, help that team achieve that goal that's what he was brought there to do, which essentially what was my role was. I was brought in to help the team get to Super Bowl and help win the Super Bowl, and for us to be able to have done that and be a part of it, is really dope. And yeah.
Yeah, you definitely did that. Now you did bring up the Super Bowl. I was looking at your tweets, watching you on Twitter, seeing you tweeting about the Super Bowl and everything. How is that? Obviously have been in that game. How is it watching that? And just being a fan for once, not having to worry about all the hoopla surrounding it.
I tell you what, it's dope watching it, but for me, just because of the crazy competitor I am, I get jealous when I watch it because I'm like I want to be in it again. Like it's so lit. Like that's just how I feel. But for me, it was really dope this year because I had some like really close people that were actually playing for it. And
Okay.
so one of my college teammates actually won the Super Bowl, so that was really dope because he was able to join the club and get his first ring. So yeah, man, it's like I think when you know someone on a team and have like a connection, it made it like a little bit more personal. So it was really cool, like being able to see him experience what I was able to experience and just the
That's
joy
awesome.
and know that like now they're doing the parade. So yeah, it's just like it's
Now,
lit, man. It's lit.
leading up to the Super Bowl, were there any conversations between you guys, like just because I know there's so much that goes on outside of the actual game, right? Like, was there any conversations with you and him just kind of how to handle things?
Not even, obviously, hey, these guys are professionals. I don't need to tell them how to do too much. All it was really, I think, maybe the night before and then the day of, I shot my boys a text. Just, obviously saying what I needed to say to him. And then after the game, that too. Um, but yeah, that's that, like I said, they pros. I spoke to them and they got it, and yeah, man, obviously it happened how it happened.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I did see you come to the Eagles. I believe it was Eagles Dallas game that you made an appearance at and everything. I wanted to ask you, how close are you still to some of your former teammates on that Eagles team or even the Dolphins team?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was able to make a lot of dope connections with my teammates. So I still keep in touch with quite a few of my Dolphins guys, especially the ones in my rookie class. And then Eagles guys, you know, especially the ones that Super Bowl winning team will always have that tie forever. But I definitely have still connections with like Corey and the RBs, and obviously you kind of saw it and when I came back to Philly, Kels. You know, it's always love over there with him. So I think, yeah, it's just it's Philly is a city that I always be connected to. I have love for. I think the city loves me. It's no bad vibes. So like it's special, and I think Philly's such a dope city. Like when they love you, it's real, and when they hate you, it's real too. So to be loved by Philly is better than be hated, and it's the fact that I got love and I was, you know, an outsider that came in and was able to earn that. You know what I'm saying? I think
Definitely.
that's that's like the dopest thing. You know, you kind of see what's going on with some of the other sports guys. They can't handle, you know, Philly's a tough place to play. You gotta be able to handle it. So I enjoyed all my time out there. I thought it was like, you know, that pressure is it's fun to try and to build up and achieve that, like, and take that on, you know.
I respect that. That's a great way to look at it. I respect that a million percent. I got two more questions and then I'll get you out of here. I did want to ask you, and I'm glad that you brought him up. But obviously, we just had Brandon Brooks, who you were able to play with, retire, and we're looking at a Jason Kelsey possibly close to a retirement, maybe this year, another year. What do you? How was it playing with those guys, and how was it just being in the locker room with two pros like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Kels, you know, his record speaks for itself. How he is in Philly, everyone sees the media. Obviously, the dude just the hard worker, smartest dude, one of the smartest players ever played with. Him, Brooks, the whole line, they're just obviously it shows like the best running offense in the league. That's what they do. They just move people and they led by a great O line coach. So it's just lit like how those guys continued to be pros for their careers. And yeah, it's obviously Eagles and Philly will miss those guys because they were really great players for that team.
Definitely, definitely. Now, last thing I want to ask you, man, is I want to. I really not a question. I want to kind of give the floor to you now. And is there anything we should be on the lookout for, music wise, life wise, from Jay Ajayi that we should? I have your website already pinned in the chat. I have it linked in the description. But tell us anything that we should be on the lookout for, life wise, music wise, accomplishment wise.
Oh yeah, I mean obviously you got my that's my Twitter tag right there. My Instagram is at Rude Boy Finesse. Definitely got some things on the works, content, some big dope content on the way in the works. Some music on the way in the works, and some shows also. Trying to get some traveling in, maybe do something around South by Southwest. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, just constantly pushing. You know, Philly, I'm gonna be around. I back in Philly some too. Got to stay close with those ties. So yeah, man, just you know, finesse, just on the move, on the go, and just stay tuned for more.
Definitely, definitely, man. And I put my stamp on it because, like I said, I was listening to a lot of music. It's funny, the person that reached out to you is my co-host Brandon, and he's a huge fan of yours and has been trying to get you on the show for the longest. Unfortunately, he has to work, so I had to, step in for him. But he's a huge, huge fan of you, so I know he's going to be very excited for this. So, Jay, I really can't thank you enough for your time, and for your time in Philly and what you brought to the city. Just thank you, man, and have a great one, man. I appreciate your time.
No, thank you. Have a good one, my G. Bless.
Yes, sir. God bless, man. So that was Jay Ajayi, everybody. Jay Ajayi. Thank you so much to Jay Ajayi for his time. Amazing guy, man. Amazing guy. We were supposed to come on at 2, had a little bit of technical difficulties. I appreciate his just patience. If you can't tell, I'm excited, right? I'm excited. It was a beautiful thing. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. I'll get to some of these comments, and then I will head out of here. Like I said, I do have his website pinned. Definitely go check out his music, man. Definitely go, even if you don't like hip hop, definitely go support a Philadelphia Eagle legend, right? But I promise you, if you do like music, you are going to like his stuff. But shout out to Drew Johnson, Midwest Eagles fan. Scoob Doo in the building. We got Spa City Chop in the building. Easy Money, what's going on? We got Eagle Slayer in the building. Michael DeJean, Carlos, Slinky. We got everybody in here. We got everybody. Show Enough, what's going on? Brandon, what's going on? John Jones, what's going on? Shout out to John Gale with the $5 super chat. Said great 2017 Jay. Shame career seems cut short. Ran with a ton of heart. Jay Ajayi was a dog, man. Jay Ajayi was a lot of fun to watch. And a lot of fun to just talk to. He was an awesome dude, man. But I appreciate everybody chiming in, everybody tuning in. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Later on tonight, I will be live again with Lord Brunson and Philly Mike of Philly Talk Podcast. So I hope to see you guys all there. Other than that, though, you guys know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly. We are out here. Peace!
Scott with the Philadelphia
John
Eagles.
Dornbos here, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Edwards of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Follow my guy Joe Castro on his YouTube/podcast channel.
Let's give a shout out to the Philly podcast.
And shout out Philly and my guy Joe Castro. So keep on doing great things, guys. Fly Eagles Fly.
Fly Eagles Fly.
Go Birds.